start with Arsenal. This is a team who excelled last season. They became a scary outfit. They beat so many teams with ease. The football was scintillating. But in the end, they fell short. In the summer, they invested millions and millions of more pounds into their team. They bought the likes of Declan Rice as an example, and they really went out to strengthen. And they started this campaign, I think, in a decent way. They weren't brushing everybody aside, but it was measured. It was calm. They weren't being progressed against. And I looked at this Arsenal team and thought, you know what? You're not my favourites to win. Man City are. But you've got a chance. You've got a chance of winning again. And a title-winning team has a strong defence. In the last few weeks, though, and in the last couple of games, and it's something they have to stamp out quickly, is the pressure of City wobbling, the game in hand, Liverpool winning matches before them, maybe a little bit of Everton and Spurs really Aston Villa and Everton really pushing them hard. I've looked at this Arsenal team in the last couple of games, and there is a lack of belief. There is a lack of togetherness. There is a lack of confidence within them, in my personal opinion. The quality of player is there. We've seen them deliver on multiple occasions. But when that pressure mounts, do they have the manager? Do they have the experience at the club to persevere through those moments? I don't know if they do to win the league. Top four, still think they can get. Are they still a team that on their day can hurt anybody? Yes. But right now, something's got to change. I get new midfielders. I get a new striker. I understand this is a reason and an element they need. But watching certain players not try and take people on. And the word I must have wrote down 5 times in my notes today was no intensity. It's got nothing to do with needing a striker. Where's the intensity? There was a slight increase when they went 2-1 down. Almost scored pretty quickly after that. But then it faded again. And for me, someone who's watched not just football, but sport my whole life, there's a belief element there. Why didn't you just maybe hang your jaw out a little bit? You might risk conceding another, but really go for it. Really try to win. And I'd love to know what Arsenal fans think of that, because look, you're still in the title race. All is not lost at this moment in time. But a couple more defeats like this in the very near future. And I think, look, Liverpool Monday night could go 5 points clear. If Man City win their game in hand, if we look at the table right now, I want to make sure I'm getting this right. They win their game in hand, they'll go 3 points clear. And we know how good City are in the second half of the season. Are Arsenal creating a mountain to climb at the halfway stage where they were top just 2 games ago? Now, you may think I'm being hyperbolic. You may think I'm being over the top here. But when it comes to winning titles and the title race like we're shaping up for now, it is going to come down to a hair's breadth between the top 2, top 3, maybe even top 4 or 5 teams. So every single defeat is massive. Every single win is huge at this stage of the season as well. And more importantly, what has to be focused on is the performances. Yes, the attack has struggled a little bit at times this year for Arsenal, but their defense and their midfield has been solid as a rock. But today, in large periods against West Ham United, issues, real issues. Is that the pressure? Is that systems? Is that players? I want to get your view. I want to get your opinion. I think we all are going to concur on what's going wrong, but the rationale, the reason, I really wanted to understand, because right now, looking at this Arsenal team, genuinely, they are throwing away their chances of competing for this title. And if they get a couple more results like this in the near future, there's going to be too big of a hill, too big of a mountain for them to climb. And look, I don't want Liverpool winning it and matching Man United's trophy haul. Nobody wants Man City doing a 4-peat. That's a record probably none of our clubs may repeat ever again. And no one wants a rival club to have a record that, 1, they don't have, but 2, may be impossible to achieve. If it's the first time ever, how likely is it that anyone else is going to do it in our lifetimes anyway? So I'd much prefer Aston Villa, much prefer Spurs, much prefer Arsenal to win it to them, because my club, Man United, isn't going to do it. But I'm not going to sit here and lie to Arsenal fans. I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up your backsides and say it's all going to be all right. Your manager's got to get into these players. Your manager has got to become ruthless, and your club needs to back him in the window and buy more players. Now, you'll get rivals that will laugh at you. Oh, you just got to spend more money, have you? Yes. Like every single team pretty much through the history of football, when it isn't quite going right, buy some better players. Even if you like what you've got, go out and buy some different players. Try something. Because right now, there's a lack of intensity and there's a stoutness about this Arsenal team. There's a stoutness about them. Saka's playing poorly, got his goal playing poorly. Won't go on the outside. Give someone else a go. Now, you say, what about, try something. Go and buy that striker. Move Gabriel Jesus out there. Do something. Because if you don't, you're not winning this Premier League title. It is as simple and as straightforward as that. As dangerous as you can be, as scary as you can be at times, there's a difference between being that and being able to put this Man City team and this Liverpool team to the title, especially with Tottenham and Aston Villa nipping at everybody's heels. And they're not going anywhere. 42 points Aston Villa are on. Everyone wrote Spurs off a few weeks ago. They're on 39 points now. 3 home wins on the bounce. I'm not saying Spurs are not winning the league, in my opinion, and nor are Aston Villa. But it's all there mounting the pressure. And this manager needs to get hold of his team. He needs to settle them. He needs to get them back to playing a more cohesive style of football, brand of football. Get the chemistry back. Where are the relationships gone? And I heard a gal say the other day, and I'm calling a gal out on this, not because I'm having a pop at him per se, that this whole system changing thing, I just don't. I watched a lot closer today, and it's not the system. People over-egg what a system is. It's just players not doing what they did last year. It is just players, in my opinion, feeling that pressure of, oh, we're really expected to do it this year. It's a different feeling to have. It really is. And it's on the manager to get them through this. That's one of the most important parts of a manager or a head coach, is that man management, that personal management, your emotional intelligence, and how you deal with it. Because right now, Arsenal are running the real risk of falling away from this title race with Liverpool and Man City looking as though they're definitely going to be in it. And we know what both those teams can do when they get a bit of steam in them, when they sort of pick up a little bit of motion. They're juggernauts. They can be very, very difficult indeed to stop. Terry, what will your Arsenal headline please be? Well, you can see what it is. I've said Arsenal bottled it today, in my opinion. Fulham are a good team, but Arsenal took a lead. They're title contenders. They're one of the best teams in England. They're one of the best teams in Europe. And they look like rabbits in headlights after going 1-0 up. That isn't good enough. And Arsenal fans, whether you love Arteta or hate Arteta, whether you think Saka and Odegaard are the best things since sliced bread or you want them sold, it's irrelevant. You need to call up that performance today. You need to demand, I'm going to sound like Standard FC, higher standard than this. And this is the problem. Arsenal don't have a vat of performances like today over the past 18 months. So you haven't seen me go in on them. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that they were hard done by today. Oh, this little margins here, little margins there. No, they were nowhere near good enough at all. Fulham deserved to win. I'm taking nothing away from them. But Arsenal, a shadow of themselves. And the most chilling part for me, if I was an Arsenal fan, would be the lack of intensity, the lack of aggression, the lack of commitment on the pitch from the players at times. They looked timid. And that, in my opinion, it's the fight or flight situation. At the moment, they're running away.